Given that this is the regular meeting of the Borough of Highlands, Mayor and Council, and all requirements have been met. Notice has been transmitted to the Asbury Park Press and the Two River Times. Notice has been posted on the public bulletin board. Formal action will be taken. Roll call vote. Pledge of Allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call. Councilmember Brouillon. Here. Councilmember Card.
Here.
Councilmember Iurigo.
Here.
Councilmember Wells.
Here.
Mayor O'Neill.
Here.
Approval of the minutes, June 21st, 2017, regular meeting. Do I have a motion?
So offered. I'll second it.
I think some people missed, so maybe you should do third.
Each one
Yes.
individually.
Is that a vote?
Councilmember Brouillon.
Yes.
Councilmember Card.
That first one, yes.
This is only for June 21st.
Correct. Only call the names that were there.
Councilmember Iurigo.
Yes.
Councilmember Wells.
Yes.
Mayor O'Neill.
Yes.
The minutes were properly approved. The meeting minutes of June 30th, 2017, special meeting. Do I have a motion?
So offered.
Second.
I'll second it.
Councilmember Brouillon.
Yes.
Councilmember Card.
Wasn't there.
Councilmember Iurigo.
Wasn't there.
Councilmember Wells.
Yes.
Mayor O'Neill.
I was on the phone, okay. Okay.
The minutes were properly approved. Okay. Public comment for resolutions.
Comments on any of the resolutions that are coming up tonight? R-17-135 to R-17-146. Anybody like to offer that? So ask a question on this. Seeing none, I'll close the public portion.
Okay, resolution 2017-44, appointment of police officers. Do I have a motion?
I'll offer it.
I'll second.
Roll call.
Councilmember Brouillon.
Yes.
Councilmember Card.
Yes.
Councilmember Iurigo.
Yes.
Councilmember Wells.
Yes.
Mayor O'Neill.
Yes.
Resolution 2017-144 has been properly approved.
Kevin?
Kevin? Kevin O'Donnell.
Kevin O'Donnell.
Do solemnly swear.
Do solemnly swear
Uphold the Constitution of the United
to
States.
uphold the Constitution of the United States and the ordinance of the Borough of Highlands.
You just bring it.
No, that I remember. That I remember.
I, Kevin O'Donnell,
I, Kevin O'Donnell,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
to uphold the Constitution
to uphold the Constitution
of the United States
of
of
the United
America
States of America
and this state
and this state
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability,
under the jurisdiction of the people,
of the jurisdiction of the people,
so help me God.
so help me God. Thank you, sir.
Take some pictures.
Come on, take some pictures, anyone? Come on, Rob.
Not all your Donalds at once.
Sure.
Look at him.
Android. Thank you.
Francis White. I, Jason Flanagan. I, Jason Flanagan. Do solemnly swear. Do solemnly swear. That I will support the Constitution of the United States. That I will support the Constitution of the United States. The Constitution of the State of New Jersey. The Constitution of the State of New Jersey. That I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same. I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same. To the governments established in the United States. And to the governments established in the United States. And in this state. And in this state. Under the authority of the people. Under the authority of the people. That I will faithfully. Impartially, justly perform, all the duties of patrolman, according to the best of my ability, so help me God.
Are we still on, we FaceTime it?
No, they got it on the,
Okay. Some of the Dance family is away in Florida, they weren't able to make it. We told them about the live stream, we thought some people were FaceTiming for them. So we're all gonna say hi to his family.
You two guys gotta remember this, and that's the one thing that stands out with me. Under the authority of the people, I do the right thing. That's how this works. Right?
What the?
Right here.
I gotta back up.
What's up, buddy? How are you? All right. Hey, really? I can't complain, though. Oh, yeah, of course. Always busy. But you look great. You too, pal. Yeah. The second you have those sorts of plays, the second you two hours, day night, day.
We can just move out there and continue the meeting. Thanks for coming out, everybody. See you in the room.
Next is the consent agenda with resolution 17-135, the 2016-2017 liquor license renewal, 2017-136, the 2017-2018 liquor license renewals, 2017-137, appoint Donna Conrad as the deputy registrar, resolution 17-140, authorizing the refund of tax sewer fee overpayments, 17-141, approve disabled parking spot, 17-142, authorizing the extension to pay taxes to August 25th, 2017, and 17-146, adopt a flexible spending plan for insurance. Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Councilmember Briand,
Yes.
Councilmember Carr,
Yes.
Councilmember Diarigo,
Yes.
Councilmember Wells,
Yes.
Mayor O'Neill. The consent agenda was properly approved. Resolution 17-138, authorizing electronic tax sale. Do I have a motion? Second?
I'll second.
Councilmember Briand,
Yes.
Councilmember Carr,
Yes.
Councilmember Diarigo,
Yes.
Councilmember Wells,
Yes.
Mayor O'Neill.
Yes.
Resolution 17-138 was properly approved. Resolution 17-139, authorizing emergency contracts for Linden Avenue sanitary sewer line. Do I have a motion?
I'll offer.
Second?
I'll second.
Okay, before we go, explain a little bit about what the
Yeah,
the
I was
Linden
just gonna
Avenue
ask.
contract.
You're sitting here, so you might as well.
Yeah.
After water sampling, we found that there was sewage break on Linden and Waterwoods intersection. It was dye tested. It was found that there was a break in the line. There was also a small section up on Water Witch. There was a small section where a utility protruded at the top of Linden, manhole number 3 to 4. So we had Oswald Enterprises come in and sleeved us on the 2 small breaks, one up on Water Witch and one on Linden. They were just too small. There was no sense in ripping the road up for those small sections. The main concern was in the intersection where it was getting into our stormwater drain. We had Brennan's Contracting come in. We replaced about 3 sections of PVC 8-inch pipe. Water sampling went back to normal, and we're good. Beaches are open again.
This was the problem that caused it to close. We're all familiar with that. It was closed for a couple weeks. This was the solve and took care of it. Okay. Thank you.
Well, question, you're satisfied with the work, because there was a lot of public, was that who's inspecting it? And I know you said you were going to be on site, so you were
I was on
satisfied with the
site.
work.
Dale had stopped in at one time, and the county was on site for the entire section.
Great, and then as far as the billing is good, we get an itemized billing from Brandon's,
We have not received a bill yet.
I'm sure they'll provide one.
Yes.
They want to get paid.
Thank you,
So
Mark.
this resolution is offering them to be paid, that's why I'm asking, to make sure we do get a resolution. I mean, it should be paid as all contractors, they need to provide them.
Same as Oswald, and I believe L&L's on there, but L&L
Yeah.
will not be doing anything until the 90, maybe a little bit, 120 days. It's got to settle, and the county's got to be okay with it. Then L&L will come in. So it'll be open for some time.
Okay.
Those are just estimated numbers when the emergency first took place as to what it was going to cost. Those numbers aren't accurate.
Right, or Kim Gonzalez is, she's been in contact with you, this is the check.
Yes.
We're good on this.
I just want to thank Mark for your efforts, because it really was a great job. Identified quickly, taken care of, and we could have lost the whole summer if it wasn't for his expertise and knowledge, and I just want to thank him for that. He did really, really good work. Yeah,
Roll call vote.
Okay.
Councilmember Brouillon,
Yes.
Councilmember Card,
Yes.
Councilmember Diorigo,
Yes.
Councilmember Wells,
Yes.
Mayor O'Neill.
Yes.
Resolution 17-143, authorizing payment of bills. Do I have a motion?
I'll motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Roll call?
Councilmember Brouillon,
Yes.
Councilmember Card,
Abstain, I did not read the, so I apologize about that. I'll abstain.
Councilmember Diorigo,
Yes.
Councilmember Wells,
Yes.
Mayor O'Neill.
Yes.
Resolution 17-143 was properly approved. 17-145, authorizing release of performance guarantee. Do I have a motion?
I'll make it.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Roll call?
Councilmember Brouillon,
Yes.
Councilmember Card,
Yes.
Councilmember Diorigo,
Yes.
Councilmember Wells,
Yes.
Mayor O'Neill.
Yes.
Resolution 17-145 was properly approved. Resolution other business proclamation presentation. That was taken first.
Okay. Okay, we have a proclamation here. This proclamation was on the heels of an April 6th meeting where it was decided that Dale Lubner and T&M did a great job with the flood zone, moving us from the BE zone to the AE zone and all the effort that he did. So I thought it'd be proper to write up a proclamation. It says, whereas at the April 6th meeting of the Highlands Borough Council, accolades were bestowed on Dale R. Lubner and T&M Associates. And whereas at this meeting, the Borough Council
Mr. Lubner, along with T&M Associates, who Mr. Lubner represents, must publicly acknowledge for their hard work and dedication to having the Highlands Borough Downtown Business District flood zone classification change from velocity VE zones to the AE zone. Whereas the effort was greatly appreciated by those present at the council meeting of April 6, 2017, bringing tears to the eyes of a homeowner who was overwhelmed with relief as they had addressed the meeting. And whereas the change in zone designation greatly alleviates some of the burdens faced by residents as they prepare for and during construction, allowing for a wider range of choices in construction, in addition to substantially reducing the excessive cost homeowners face for flood insurance. And whereas the effort of Mr. Lubin and T&M Associates greatly reflects on their professionalism and character in which they serve the borough of Highlands. Therefore, be it proclaimed that the mayor, on behalf of the borough residents and homeowners, offers a sincere thank you to Dale R. Lubin and T&M Associates on this 19th day of July 2017 under my hand, Richard W. I'd like to move on to
Thank you. I appreciate it. Okay, great, thank you.
Next on the agenda is the administrator's update.
To update you on a few projects that have been going on lately. The Veterans Park Electric, it's been stalled for a little while, as there was about $20,000 in unexpected costs that came up between JCP&L and Verizon to replace the pole and to upgrade JCP&L equipment. Dale has been working with them to try and get those costs reduced as much as possible, as that wasn't planned for. With the Office of Emergency Management, we're...
Wait a second.
Yes.
What is the total cost of that? That's roughly around $60,000 to do that job?
Yeah, contract was for $61,000,
Yeah,
I believe.
61.
With these unexpected costs, I think we should review in our minds if we really want to go through with this project.
Well, I have an opinion to this matter. I'm sorry to entail the great proclamation, but T&M, they were tasked with a scope of work and a la carte situation. T&M's got to take this one on the chin a little bit due to the fact that it's their obligation to make sure they solve this problem. This is not, it was a pole owned by Verizon. They should have owned that responsibility. This is something that Veterans Park needs power there. It benefits a lot of the Highlands Business Partnership situations. I know the funding is there for, as it stands, this additional 20. In my opinion, I think it was negligent on T&M's part. I mean, they've done great jobs for us, but this is a situation where we got to hold them accountable when we ask for a scope of work and put stuff out to bid, that they're covering all our bases. So, we need to, but at the same time, I think we do need to move forward. I don't know where we're going to give them 20 grand, but we got to move forward.
Well,
and I'm looking at that.
That's currently trying to work on different options.
Right.
I got an update from Kieran from JCP&L yesterday. He said they may have found another option using a different pole,
Okay.
which will help bring those costs down. So I would say, not that I want to see the project solved, but let's give it some time to see how much money we can knock off that.
Yeah. Again, I'm not here to beat up T&M, but overrun cost $5 grand, $6 grand. I get it. But something like this is right out in front of us. We should have seen it. So, all right, thank you.
Well, I'm just saying, I think we should, each one of us, at that time, in our mind, review and see what's the limit on this. Okay? But at least 60 grand for the use that it gets. To me, it's too much money, but that's just to me. Okay.
The amount for that contract was $61,355.
So now is it 80?
Yeah,
It's, that 20 is kind of a moving target that we're trying to get down as low as possible.
Right now, it's about 14 was the latest we were able to get between the two.
That- Yeah,
Yeah, 'cause-
so
Right.
I know.
Somewhere around 75,000.
we're still trying to get that knocked
Keeping it that
down.
lower, right?
Rick, so you understand before we really weighed and measured how to do this to keep costs down, and that's
And I
why we.
understand, I know you guys were working on this, but it just seemed like, and I might be wrong, I haven't researched all that much, that's why I'm just asking people to have a look at it.
Yeah.
We usually mentioned the ATP, these are 1 day a year.
But hopefully that we get more events down there.
Okay.
You know, with the stage. Thank you, the stage that's been up and some of the stuff, hopefully we can
Okay.
have more events down there, power needed, you know, light the flags up.
Okay, I'm just throwing it out there, that's all. All right, thanks.
Next thing was Officer of Emergency Management. The notification system that we use, we're in the process of switching over to Nixle from Swift 911. Everybody that's looked at it seems to think it's a far better product, and it's also going to save us some money. There's some instructions on our website to sign up for it. You can either do it through our website directly. You can text the zip code to 888-777, or you can sign up directly through Nixle.com. But it sends text messages, voice messages, and it'll broadcast to social media simultaneously. I know last year we did have a lot of problems with Swift 911 sending duplicate messages, like in the teens, 20s.
Right for each one of them?
No.
It just annoys you 15 times?
Yeah.
No, this one.
No, but I mean
No,
the old system.
The old
Yeah.
one, yeah.
All right, there you go.
I think we covered the sewer issues. The only other thing to comment is during Mark's investigation up there, he found that the Highlands Elementary School, their runoff from their gutters was tied directly into the sanitary sewer system. So we're paying to process all that water. I was in contact with the school's facility manager. He's getting an engineer involved to try to correct the situation.
And they, I did tell you, they discussed it at their meeting
Last
last
night,
night.
yeah.
So they said probably about 30 days. They'd get somebody out, look at it, get back to us.
Okay. Recreation program, obviously for the sewer repairs, the beaches are back open. Seabright was very accommodating with getting lifeguards back on our beaches with the agreement. Movie on the Beach night was canceled due to weather. It'll be rescheduled shortly. Watch the website for a new date. Summer rec program is up and running well. They just started this week going back to the water. They did swim testing, and from all accounts, it seems very popular. Just to break down some numbers, total registered this year versus last year. This year we have 155. Last year was 151. This year we have 120 residents, 34 non-residents. Last year, it was 19 non-residents. So we're kind of on par there. One difference, the average daily attendance so far this year is 89 versus 65 last year. We accepted 14 children on waivers. Of those, Then we had to wait list 16 children that tried to sign up after the deadline. Since then, I've consulted with Jen. She felt she could accommodate them with her current staffing, so I gave it a go ahead to add those. Of the 16, 8 have been added. The remaining 8 either haven't gotten back to her yet or have since declined for other programs. Paving through the shared service agreement that was signed last month. New Street was paved last week. William Street will be paved this week. On Monday. A letter just went out today to all the residents about moving their vehicles. The school's granted us permission to use their lot for the day. And also the PD will be placing a signboard out there. There will be a soft closure of Linden Avenue that day, just because of all the county equipment that'll be out there. And then also DPW has been busy out patching various areas around town as they're reported. That's all I have.
Okay, we discussed inside South Second, so are we going forward with that? Is that still on, or was it canceled? Mark?
It is scheduled currently.
It's scheduled, okay. All right, very good. Somebody doing a beach update?
Well, I think that's Brian kind of covered it
Yeah,
as administration.
Shared services, okay. Public comment.
Well, I think the shared services, Carolyn was the middle.
Oh, and they all left. But, those folks at home.
Oh, I thought it was,
Yeah. As many people know, we did have a discussion with Middletown about doing some kind of a shared service for the police department. The council felt that we were doing our due diligence by looking into absolutely every option. And we did look into it, and it was not a good fit for either of us. We all strongly support our police officers, as you saw earlier, when we have 2 new guys coming on board, and we're excited to get to know them. So, thank you.
open public portion.
I-
You got something to say? I'm sorry.
Yeah, on Monday I received a phone call at 5 o'clock, and I have been asked to be a part of a 14-state delegation that will be speaking at a 2-day event being held in Washington, D.C., September 12th and 13th. I will be addressing insurance, flood mapping, and FEMA issues that continue to impact storm survivors years after their storms. It is a privilege and honor to represent the town of Highlands at this event. If there are any residents who wish to share their stories and continuing problems with insurance payments and insurance renewals, particularly high insurance renewals, please contact me through my borough email. I will be bringing your personal stories to our senators and representatives in anticipation of attempting to help you with your issues. As soon as location details are formally finalized, I will give the information to our communications liaison, Carolyn Rulan, to post. Members of the public will be welcome to attend this event.
Well done.
Okay. Very good. Anybody like to add to that?
I was just awesome.
Okay. Very well, we have public portion. Barry Heffernan.
Thank you, Mayor. My name is Barry Heffernan with Tri-Bar Services. As you know, I just completed the project on Valley Street. There was no specs given, nor were there any directions given in reference to the repair. However, I brought an engineer out and met with Brian Gagan. He sent me a letter I'd like to read to you.
Go ahead.
So then you understand what went on Valley Street. Several weeks ago, I met with Barry Heffernan, Tri-Bar Services, and the Borough Administrator. I was asked to look at several inlet structures which appeared to be collapsing along Valley Street, north and south of 5th Street. 3 inlet grates were observed falling into the storm basins below. I had the grates lifted off for the inspection. The inlets are made of brick and appear to have been repaired in the past by installation of a concrete cap on the brick walls supporting the grates. These concrete repairs were not reinforced but have failed so as to allow surface grates to fall. I recommended the repairs to be made consisting of a concrete cap reinforced with steel rebar over the brick below. This reinforced concrete cap will stabilize the brick walls below and provide support for the grade above. He also says, if you have any questions, you can ask me. So Brian was, Mr. Gay, was at that meeting. I was giving no other instructions. I was approached by the town to provide a price to do the job. I was reluctant to take the job because the payment terms of the town are not, they don't work with a contractor like myself who is over $200,000 out in Grembar, people in and around our area. So I have to work close to the money. Brian reassured me that if I did the work, there shouldn't be any problems as long as I did it in a timely fashion. He would like to have it done before he was back from vacation. I got on the job. I completed the job. I noticed there was another grate that was terribly collapsed. I repaired that. We talked about that. I repaired that. And the sidewalk that was adjacent to it, I repaired that. There was no additional costs involved. They needed to be done. I've been a resident for 50 years since. I've donated equipment to the fire department for the building of the fire station, for loaders, for cleaning up on Murray's Beach. Many, many times have I done things beyond what is expected of a resident because I'm part of the town. I feel that my invoice was pulled back because there's some questions in reference to that. But that letter was all the directions I had, and that's all I was given was a PO from the town to complete that work.
Okay.
Which I did. So I need to be paid.
As soon as it's inspected, first off, you never submitted an invoice. I was down with QPA last night, and she said there was no invoice submitted.
I have a copy of the invoice with the PO that was
I don't know.
attached and sent to the town.
You have to go down and see her. She told me last night she had none. Okay. I'm gonna have Mr.
And it needs to be an item, I actually, she just sent me
So
something.
the attachment, so
It
she
needs to be
said
an
one
itemized
basin, two
invoice.
basins, three basins?
Yeah.
I'm just
Well,
asking.
unfortunately,
I'm
it needs to be as
trying
itemized as much as possible, only because it has to go through the state purchasing laws.
Mhm.
So you need to have an itemized invoice for all the work that was performed. And then once that, there also needs to be a department head signature on that invoice. I'll share the rest of,
So who would that,
with you.
who would be getting that signature? Who would be signing the document?
I'll send you.
That was
I don't
generally
have a problem with
the administrator,
So
assistant
break it up.
department head.
Resubmit it, but it goes back to why I'm trying not, why I wasn't looking to do the work. I'd be willing to do the work, I just need it to move. So the fact that I didn't break it up and do it properly was what slowed it down.
It doesn't work that way, whether you want to do it or not, or all the things that you've done for town, I appreciate it myself. But the process has to go along as the process.
Right, so, Mayor, it's a simple thing. I can either choose to do the work or not choose to do the work. I realize that. My point is that I really wasn't anxious to do it, but I did.
Well, I can see that because I read the scope, the estimates or the bids that the other guys put in. And one of them was a 3-page detail of what I'm gonna do.
Mhm.
And the one that you submitted was fixed 3 manholes. Well, fixed 3 manholes, you know,
As I said, I brought an engineer out, the engineer gave us direction. The town knew what I was gonna do.
okay.
And
And I'm
that's
gonna
what I
bring
did.
one out and he's gonna tell me if it's done right. If it is, you'll have your money, I'll sign it till the
I
next
wouldn't
day.
know what wrong means.
I don't know what wrong means.
Well,
It has to be, it has to be.
then it should have been inspected at the time. There were no specifications given, there was no direction given. I found an engineer to give me direction.
Understood, but I can't just pay you for something that you did if it's not right. It's not right, that's all there is to it. And I'm not gonna debate it with you anymore.
No, of course not.
I'm just
Replace,
gonna.
replace and repair the damaged areas was you did.
Okay, and
Yeah,
then,
nothing.
sir, if it's done, you'll have your money, I guarantee that.
But I have to wait another.
Well, you don't have an invoice yet.
I don't have a problem. I'll take care of it.
Okay.
Thank you.
And then can we send Dale down there this week to inspect it?
Sure.
Mr. Philpott and Brian, you were involved in the beginning, so
Absolutely.
the 3 of you go down there, the 3 of you concur, then we move on.
You good, Mr.
Yeah, thank you.
Mr. France?
Chris Franzi, 36 Fifth Street. Last meeting, we talked about going out to bid for Valley Street for the larger project, besides the 3 drains. And after some discussion, Ms. Kane directed that it get onto the agenda and an ordinance, a resolution to go out to bid. It's not happening. I'd be curious as to
I think, in my own opinion, Chris, we waited long enough, it should go out as it is designed.
And pardon me, Rick, but at this point, that's exactly what we said last week.
Well, that's
And
what I'm
the
saying.
end of, and at the end of that discussion, we said, okay, clerk, please make a resolution. That's what we said. And
I'm
it,
sure, because I have to tend to think if that what was stated, the clerk would have had that done.
Well-
So listen to this. Put a resolution on for next meeting for the drainage job. On Valley Street. On Valley Street. On Valley, the whole thing inclusive, the whole thing is right.
And I would ask Dale to look at, because from my understanding, there's some of the pipe down there that's actually good, that doesn't need to be replaced. So when you do your inspections of tri-bars work, if Stafford could be there to explain to you the pipes that are fine, we may not need to replace all the pipes. Upon his discovery, he's doing his repairs.
and I agree with Doug 100%.
So let's talk about that. So the pipes that we had proposed were larger.
Yeah.
As directed, that's not the direction now. Like say if those pipes are in good condition, don't have to be, say, replaced. You don't want to replace a section of a larger pipe to a smaller pipe to a larger pipe to a smaller pipe. It's either we're going to stay with the existing size you have, or you're going to go with a larger pipe all the way. So I mean that's just the way that's got to go. So we have to make a determination as to if we're going to go out as the big project was, or if we're going to go and replace what needs to be replaced to the existing size that's there. I mean, either way, whatever you want to do is fine.
My question.
But let me, you know,
I did ask you, did we determine about the flow rate between the pipe size that Mr. Heffernan put in down there versus the flow rate, maximum flow rate versus the deviation?
yes, we
Remember
did.
yet?
We did. And that report is actually forthcoming, but I'll tell you what it says. So basically, our pipe that was put in, and as I've said many times before, it's the largest pipe you can fit in the ground. That's not necessarily designed to a storm. So the pipe that we had designed was actually about a 2-year storm, because that's all you can fit with everything that's there, because it's shallow, right? The pipe that Mr. Heffernan put in actually constricts that by another 20% as it gets to the station, even with the station running full blast, full gun, full everything. So it would back up, so it would take 20% longer to drain. It might back up 20% more into the system. But regardless, however you guys want to go is fine.
Well, would that 20% backup cause flooding on the streets?
It'll exacerbate the flooding by about 20% for that line.
Now, the last time, when now that we have pumping services and the pump has been properly repaired, we have pumping services right now. Last time we had a massive flood and it did back up by that area by Bay Avenue. It vacated when the pump finally got turned on. It vacated it within minutes.
Right, agreed, but it doesn't have, remember that the new project also adds a lot of drainage coming from Fifth and Atlantic and Cedar.
I agree. But
You know what I mean? So I mean, by existing conditions, you're probably okay. But the task was, does it work for what was designed for the overall project?
It's my opinion, and the engineers I've talked to have said, if you go with the pipe that we have pre-existing there with a properly maintained pump that will turn on when the tide or the water gets to a level, it will stay in front of that 20% deviation and vacate the streets properly. The pipes that you proposed that we're told to design, I think it's an overcost, and it's going to be a lot of wasted money. And we can get a lot more out of the ABS pipes that most towns are using.
And don't forget.
Wait a second. Do you have a response?
No, I'm just saying, I don't disagree that there's extra cost with the larger pipe, because that was the task
At the time.
back then.
Yeah,
So,
I agree.
right, so as we sit here in 2017, if we're changing that direction, that's up to you guys.
How long do you want to wait to have this done?
But here's the question, what's the most cost efficient way to get the biggest bang for our buck? And
And
to
that's
me,
the ABS.
that's the question that I have, and you know, that's what I would ask Dale or Mark
I can
or,
answer
you
that.
know,
I can answer
well, I
that.
want a professional to answer it. So that's why I'm asking Dale, if we're paying for it.
Let me just add one other thing.
Wait a second, sorry, no. He has the floor, you can speak.
Let me just add one thing. The existing pipe in the ground, that's what we believe is in good condition. Everything that Barry has exposed was in good condition, all right, is 50, 60, 70% filled with sand. So we're not getting water from Bay Avenue through a 32-inch pipe. We're getting it through a 10-inch pipe or a 12-inch pipe. So at this point, we wouldn't understand how much improved we could be getting.
But Chris, that's why I asked the list of number of questions, the percentage deviation between one pipe size versus a smaller pipe size. And Dale, thank you for just 20%. Then, if you do a proper maintenance program, as we are doing,
I agree with you.
we won't have that sand in the street. So when we know the storm's coming and the pump is set up to turn on when the water gets to a certain level, just as a bilge pump in a boat stays in front of the water. So why spend, I think, $400,000, $500,000 more money? And Becky, to get more bang for our buck, I think if we reallocated with the ABS piping and longer pipes, I think we can get further up the road, further down with the laterals, and get more bang for our buck, to use your term. And
So Dale, how long would it take to tweak this after you've inspected the existing pipes, to do the ABS with the existing size pipes?
That's a quick change, because basically it's the same length. You're just running the same. Say we'll call it the existing size, right?
Right.
So I mean, basically you have to change the design to incorporate the existing size, 36-inch, whatever it may be, and then tweak the specs to go out with it.
So we can have that ready to go out next meeting.
Yeah, I mean, there's going to be a cost. We do have to change things. It's not going to be a large cost, but it's going to be some cost to change those specs. And I can get that cost to you ahead of time.
Absolutely.
And then it's, basically you put it out the way it is, with the existing size pipe. Now, what that does for you, that will eliminate some of the potential utility relocations, with a larger pipe.
They don't last.
Obviously we'll call it a 3680 as opposed to a 38 by 60 concrete elliptical is a much cheaper pipe. I mean, for lack of a better term, it is. There's no,
And to share with the council that if Dale, you were there when we were fixing the sinkhole down there, we had some of the biggest piping companies in the state come down there and say, this project, to go all the way to Shore Drive, is a huge amount of money because the dewatering is necessary for the elliptical pipes as it was engineered. They've all said, the two firms said, I shouldn't say all, but two firms, it was well engineered spec by T&M, which is really not practical for what you want to do. If you have, that pump is an outstanding pump with our pumping service, and a proper maintenance program, as Chris suggesting,
Well,
something,
that's the key, it's proper maintenance, because
Well-
we haven't been maintained in the past, and something you have to really
something new
stress
for
in the
Highlands.
future.
We need to embrace moving forward and have proper maintenance, and that costs money. Better to spend proper maintenance than to have to go every 5 years and spend stupid money because you can't put a proper maintenance program together. Now, Mark, you're our new DPW guy. You're on it, and you're taking care of the sewer problems. I think we should have some confidence that we're going to have a maintenance program.
Agreed. Thank you, Dale.
So you'll have that by the next meeting?
Yeah, I'll cost and everything. Right, the cost and the we'll call it the effort to change that for the, quickly. I'll have that next week to you. And then if all goes well, whether it's a straw vote and say, yeah, go ahead, we're good to go, and then we get that turned around quickly for you and get this thing on the street.
Yes.
Keep in mind, you still have a DOT grant for this. In an amount of $250,000 for the road. Obviously you're replacing pipe, replacing road. And then you do have this project bonded as part of that overall project. So you do have money put aside to get this one done.
But I'm not talking about just the Valley Street portion of it, the whole portion of
The entire project. Well, we need to decide, right, what we need to do with the culvert. Are we doing a culvert? Are we doing a pump station?
it. No, how's it designed? It's designed with a pump, isn't it?
It is designed with a pump, but I need direction on which way we're gonna go.
Put a pump in it, as far as I'm concerned.
I'm sorry.
The culvert is gonna be a huge maintenance issue in a confined space. I don't see it.
Where you put another pump on?
Put it wherever it's designed.
No, it's out here, the Sun Harbor pump.
Oh, I'm sorry. I missed it. I was still on Valley. Sorry. Yeah, switch time. I missed the switch.
Sorry. I'm talking about doing the whole scope of work, not just detail it out. Because everybody wants this done. The Central Town wants their part done. Valley Street wants their part done. Wall Street wants their part done.
What,
Whole deal.
can I make a suggestion?
Sure.
Could I would say, as an option, take Valley out of the overall project right now.
Right.
Because that one's ready, you get that one moving. In the meantime, if you have somebody do the overall project, right, you're gonna be sitting for parts, or lead time on a pump.
And if we don't do it all together, we're gonna have an argument about each individual piece. Everybody deserves to get a little bit of the pie, so let's give them all their pieces. Get it over with in one time, I think. You guys think different?
I do. I disagree with that because the amount of information that we're gaining from the Corps of Engineer project and the different input, I think we should. I recommend Dale's recommendation is separate it. Start moving forward with that. At the same time, answer those questions that are associated with this out here in Snug Harbor and whether or not we have issues with Captain's Cove still. Okay, we still have issues with Monmouth Hills with the water runoff up there with their stormwater management. Who knows? We don't know if this pump is going to work down here. We just don't know. I think we need to separate it, get that project done, and then address this
So
project.
basically what you're saying is we need to separate it so we can argue about whether this is a culvert. or
Isn't that
whether
what we're
it's a
here
farm,
for?
or whether we put it here in front of this person's
We're
house, or
here
there in front of their
to make
person's
the
house.
best decision with the best information available.
And we need to discuss that information and debate it and come up with viable resolutions. I think just to do broad stroke, just because you want it done,
How long has it been sitting though?
Good
How
question,
long has it
Rick.
been sitting?
Good question, Rick.
How long has it been sitting?
Yeah, good question. I know I wasn't on council when it was proposed, how many years ago? 2 other council members weren't up here. So, good
So you
question,
think
Rick.
you'd want to move it along, but.
I
You
do.
wanna move it along, but you wanna move it along
Correctly, Rick, not
correctly,
incorrectly.
and that's gonna be, and like you said before, the best bang for our buck. You don't think the people,
'Cause
the
you know we
residents that
put
are here wouldn't like, I know you're not a fan of the culvert, they're used all over the country. People park all over them.
Yeah.
Don't you think people in this area wouldn't want 180 parking spaces?
Are you
But
prepared
that's
for
what it would get us.
$100,000 to maintain that pump that pumps that,
What are you prepared to pay to maintain that? You don't think
We
the
could
same
maintain
guys that we have in that culvert to clean it out, do you?
No, but I'm
No.
sure Mark has the,
Yeah.
connections and DPW to make sure the right people
Got all
are
that,
there.
Well, we have the shared service with the counties, there's
Yeah,
that.
they're gonna go
Well, I
in there
think,
too.
well, I think too, it's.
Big difference between digging it out with an excavator and putting guys inside a confined space.
And I'm fully
That's
aware
a
of that,
fact.
Rick.
And I
It's a
think
fact.
it's
I'm not
kind of,
gonna
I,
fact.
I understand that.
let Mark talk.
Can I
first.
say
Go ahead.
something? I mean, I was gonna stay quiet for this, but as long as we're there, there's 2 questions. One, what pump is gonna pump silt? Are we gonna stop this silt?
Well, that's the problem. You've got still coming out of Monmouth Hills, right? I mean, obviously you have channels, you have a low flow channel. It's going to be a maintenance issue regardless, unless the silt is stopped up on the hill, right? The pump that's proposed is 60,000 gallons a minute. Again, it's the largest we can fit. It's not designed to a storm because you couldn't do a 25-year storm. So you're going to have some kind of sediment issues
You're gonna have to clean
in
out
the channel regardless.
But now if you encase something, it's hard enough to clean this out right now, scooping it this way.
Okay.
But now you encase it, how you flushing all that
Well,
out?
that's what we had the roundtable discussion, we looked at different engineering options to discuss.
Velocity, flow, that's the thing, that's my big question,
How do you clean
maintenance
that
wise. How, and once, we got enough problems with it open.
Right.
And the reason why we have problems is Monmouth Hills. Because the sediment comes down, it's been coming down here for years. And nothing's been done about it. We've put actions and plans to solve some of that problem. Freeholder Arnaud is aware of the highway problem up there. I think we capitalized on addressing some of those issues, the silt coming down from those hills, combination of things. I think we can be successful looking at different options. Because at the same time, I'm not saying putting men in that confined space is cheap, but I think it's gonna be a little bit cheaper than putting a maintenance program on a diesel pump system out there. That was projected between $60,000 to $100,000 maintenance program per year.
All depends. Yeah.
And so that's no cheap ticket.
Well, I think too, I mean, the only thing I'm gonna say is if we had this discussion about South Second and the paving, and Carolyn said, even if it was councils years ago, they voted to do something, now it's change and change and change. We're never going to come to a consensus unless we figure out, I say just go with the plan and get the work done. I think the culvert's gonna be a bit of a nightmare for us, I really do. But we can research it for another 6, 8, 10, 12 months. And sit here next year.
And I agree with researching that for 6 to 8 months,
Okay.
10 months. But meanwhile, get Valley Street done.
But
we've
there's
been talking
another-
about it for
Okay.
6, 8 months.
Hang on a second, Mr. Francis still has the floor.
Just one thought. The overall project is a very large project. We can parallel path that larger project, all right? They can do the Valley Street while they do their reconsideration of whatever you want to reconsider. Because at this point, the overall plan ties everything together at the margins of the pictures. The pipes have to be. And as long as the elevations match what Dale designed, we're gonna be good no matter who does the work. So,
Well, here's my
Doug
question.
has said, at this point, if talk about something shovel ready, that one's shovel ready.
Valley Street,
Valley.
I believe so.
And so, I think breaking it up is kind of an okay plan.
My question with the culvert, just to ask Dale.
You might believe that because you live on Valley Street.
I try not to think like that, Rick, I really.
I try not to think like that either, Chris, but
How would that
Sometimes
work
how it
with
comes.
the drainage over by Washington and stuff? Now, you enclose this creek, right? that's great for the people on this road, right? So there's no pump in their view shed, there's no water, there's no mud on their driveways. How does that affect the Trisha Riveras?
Well, and
I'm
I'll
just-
answer, and I'll answer that, because I sat in meetings with the Corps of Engineers. Because the culvert design banking will actually help drain that water out from the secondary arteries, contributing into that, because the vacuum, the velocity of the water will help the Trisha Riveras sediment, so it will help turn it out there. The slack tide is the danger time, is when that 1 hour when the tide's at its highest. So if it's pouring rain on this low tide, it's going to go away. It's that 1 hour when we're sitting there with a dead high tide is that we have to be concerned about, the apex. And the inbound tide is an issue. But how often, when you have a massive rainstorm, there's percentages of when tide's coming in, tide's going out. There's 12 hours a day that you're ahead of the game. Okay? So you got to design to the projected issues.
I just wanna make sure whatever we decide, provides the most benefit for most of the residents.
Doug,
not one road.
the only thing is with that is with the station, we had to dig that channel way down to be able to get picture of that pipe coming out of Washington. Might not be able to get that with that culvert, or the culvert's got to be much bigger.
And that's one of the Corps of Engineers said, probably from, the park up here all the way out, it might be a staging area of water that, on that dead high
Like a retention.
tide, and that one time where it might not terminal velocity out. But if you encapsulate that water coming, say, from Monmouth Hills and Linden and all that, that velocity of water will act as a self-propellant to drive the water out of the dead flat area. That's coming from the Corps of Engineers, general conversation.
Now, the last part of this is, don't forget that we still have green acres to satisfy out here, because that whole application has to be submitted based on what gets done. If, right now they're waiting on if it's a pump and a generator,
Correct.
if we're changing that direction, that's about a year lead time from the last time we spoke to Green Acres when they were down at 19 Bay. So when we met with Jessica.
Yeah.
She said they were 9 months to a year out then, so you might not get Green Acres approval for almost a year yet.
The state hasn't met on two sessions ago on Green Acre projects.
That was a problem before.
That's the problem, before it's still a problem. So we can have a project ready today. We haven't been approved yet. So as much as Rick, if we were to take that back.
But we can proceed on ballot.
But we can proceed on ballot. We can't proceed on this, even if we had the bids
All
in
right,
our hands
okay.
today.
You know what? I could easily come up and say, no, where I live, it don't make any difference. But you're trying to get this done, you know?
Just one comment. Since
It's
I've
done
been,
right.
since I've been in the inlets and I've been in the pipes, and I know what the Valley Street pipes are like. The engineer that looked at this work said that he assumed that he didn't know for sure if there was a video done of the pipe all the way down to the pump. If there wasn't, he suggested that that be done. The pipes that I saw, the concrete pipes that I saw between the catch basins that I did the repair to, were in good shape, which I was shocked at. I mean, they were really, been in construction all life, they were in good shape. I'm not saying you don't have to replace them, I'm saying that if it was my money and I'm a taxpayer, then I wouldn't want to see them replaced. The inlets themselves are made of brick, yeah, there are issues with the inlets, but you need to take that into consideration.
We videoed that years ago. I forget how many years ago, but that was done 6, 7 years ago. I'd have to go back and look, see if I can dig something up on it.
Thank you, Rick.
You good? I'll move to close. Anybody else?
Mayor, if I could,
Yes, sir.
real quick, the police department, after a long time, is going to host a national night out. It's going to be August 1st here on the beach. We're going to have a bonfire. We're going to do a touch and truck for the kids outside. We're going to have the DPW is going to bring down some of their machines, an ambulance, a fire truck, let the kids climb on them, ask some questions and stuff like that. We're going to have a DJ and a dunk tank. Should be a good time.
Okay.
Done thing?
You going to dunk tank?
Who's going to the bathroom?
Not walking through the town anymore. Just found that information.
No, we're not
What
going to do
time does
that.
it start?
7 o'clock.
Yes, sir.
2 minutes. Norman Hagner, Spring Landscape. Bayview. We got too many cars over there from the C Street
So
people.
I've heard.
Yeah,
So I've
we
seen
got,
that.
how many units? We got 160 units. Everybody's got 2 cars. We got a lot of traffic coming out. and it's blind to the left and blind to the left, right? Somebody's gonna bust somebody's fenders in there.
You're referring to the backing off of the driveway entrances.
No, pulling out of our unit onto Shore Drive.
Right.
Right, you can't see. And, the speed limit, whatever, people are lighting up a cigarette or something, and then it's inevitable that somebody's gonna get hit. So my suggestion is, yellow curb. They can't park there, there's too many cars.
There are limitations.
And this is 5 days a week, we got this problem.
There's state
It's not only on the
statutes.
weekends, it's 5 days a week.
There's
Sir, I can assure you that I've met with the borough attorney and the mayor about
Okay.
that specific issue, and we are working on it. I've had
That's
correspondence
what I
with
like
the
to hear,
president
I like
of
this,
your,
I'm glad you.
the president of your association, we're back and forth.
Good,
So I've been keeping in touch with her.
I just thought I'd give it
We
a
are
little,
working on it.
thought I'd give it a little push.
But understand the state statutes that guide where they can put in the yellow curbing and how, so. and how we enforce it.
If I
Did you
could
hear what he said?
interject again, sir?
The state statutes guide where the yellow curbing is, for instance, within 25 feet of a crosswalk, so that's why you see them there. There are state statutes that guide that. The borough cannot supersede the state statute. So, but as Chief Burton indicated, we're trying to work
Oh,
on.
when I first came down here, there was permits, you had to have a permit to park in the
That's
street.
separate and apart from yellow curbing. You referenced yellow curbing.
Oh, whatever, it don't make any difference, but we gotta get rid of the cars, one way or the other.
Just one thing real quick, just I'll change hats on my zoning hat for a minute. So, I mean, I do realize there's a problem on Shore Drive, it's C Street, and you can see it from there. We'll call it the satellite lot, that they don't have approvals for, and parking on the street. So right now, I'm in the process of going back to the old file, the original approval for the board, seeing what that resolution read, what they were allowed to do, what's going on. I really do believe, I think it's obvious that they've exceeded what their original approvals are. So I do believe I'll be sending them back to the board on several issues coming up in the near future.
Just for the record, just because it changed owners does not change the approvals of the use, the conditions of the use.
I agree, but if they're approved for, say, X amount of riders,
I agree.
yeah, so that's where I'm looking. I'm not looking at change in ownership, just,
Yeah, the use of that property, there's a vision of a lot of people thinking that because it's new owners, they don't have to.
No, not at
adhere
all.
to, That would be a false.
absolutely, that'd be like me having a,
Ownership down there is set by parking, not by size of the boat.
Right now, I think it's
Correct.
the opposite.
That's how it is.
It is
So
the opposite.
they can buy
And they got bigger boats coming.
1,000-seat capacity boats.
Yeah.
They can only put X amount of people on it, because they only have the parking for X amount of people. So,
It's not just
I
for
don't
parking.
care how many people run the boat, I'm just pushing them to the cars
It's
in the
every-
street.
Well, that's where they're coming from.
And it's the second
Yeah,
line.
It's one problem, it's a different problem.
that's being looked into.
But what I'm saying is, it's a critical situation for us.
Yes. And Chief Burton and I rode around one day.
I'm
and
sure
looked at
it'll be
it,
taken
and
care of.
It will be, just because you asked. There you go.
I don't know.
I'll close the public portion.
Thank you, sir.
Hold on, can I say one thing real quick?
Sure.
No, real quick, just so I'm clear, I need clear direction, what am I doing for next meeting? Is it just Valley, not to keep